Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. So it's been a while since I've done something on Elyon, or well, played Elyon, because when was the last beta? It wasn't that long ago, but I don't know if I did many videos on it. But what I did say was that when the game launched, I'd talk about the launch, and we'd also take a look at the Ruby store and see if they've added any more elements of pay to win, considering they've now gone free to play with the game. So that's what I'm going to do in this video. I'm also going to talk about just my general experience and what server I'm on. So for starters, I'm over on Andromeda EU, playing Vulpin, and in typical MMO fashion now I just need to despise anyone that plays the opposite faction, because that's just the way it is. I'm sorry. But yeah, they still have it so that when you join a server, you then just have to immediately pick between the two factions, and I don't think there's any way to change in-game. It could be that further down the line they might make it a paid service to change, but it makes you lock in right away, and you, again, all your characters on that server will be that one faction. So on Andromeda, I've chose Vulpin. I can only play Vulpin on Andromeda, but I don't really think it's a very interesting way to introduce factions, because you just have a wall of text either side and a red and blue icon. It's like, hey, pick one of these before you've even got into the game and seen what any of the characters are like, which I guess you don't care about story or building factions that people are actually loyal to and actually care about. Doesn't really matter, but I always think it's a bit of an odd choice. But yeah, I'm playing Vulpin over on Andromeda. The way they did the launch was interesting. I spoke a bit about this in the Elyon went free to play video, where we talked about how they're doing a staggered launch and having people that paid get early access. I think they got in 3 days prior to the full release, which kind of ruined the launch. I personally feel like launches are very important for MMOs, and if you want to make a really good impression, it's definitely nicer to have everyone come in together. But then again, the servers have not been holding up very well anyway, so maybe it was better that it was staggered, because even now the servers are experiencing lag every now and then. It's definitely improved. They've definitely fixed a few things, but I don't like the idea of people paying and getting ahead, especially in an MMO like this, where getting in early and progressing and having open world PvP be a major theme. I think that really takes away from the launch when you stagger it like that. But the servers, let's talk about the servers, because they've not been great. When the game launched, Andromeda was the only server available for some reason. I don't know why they staggered the servers out like that, but I joined Andromeda because it was my only option at first. I mostly just got on to secure all my names. I just got Zanrise and Zan, and then logged back out because I wasn't too invested in the launch, mostly because of the pre-launch. But it was the only server available, which meant queues. I mean, everyone was getting on that server and creating characters. And on top of that, there was also server lag, which isn't fun. We did eventually get the second server up, and then we had a third server go up pretty recently as well, which has definitely relieved the servers quite a bit, but they also had to disable world quests, which are these events that happen every now and then. I don't exactly know how they work, but they'll pop up on the right, and you just click if you want to join it, and only a certain amount of people can join. But then it throws all these people in one area, will spawn bosses, or it's a fishing contest. It's got various things it can be, but it causes a lot of lag on like the whole server, and it makes the game pretty much unplayable, which is another reason why I haven't played it that much. And definitely I haven't been doing like videos on the dungeons and stuff, because some of the dungeons require you to dodge at a certain time to avoid big damage, and you can't do that when the servers lag because there's so much latency. It just makes the game unplayable. It's not fun, it's not a good time, but if you just grind mobs, it's not that much of an issue, because most of the abilities, well, I think pretty much every class just has abilities where they just AoE down mobs. So as you can see from some of the footage here, I'm just AoEing down mobs in one of the dimensional portal areas, but you can visually see the lag. It's still not fun, it's not great, but they did take out the world quests, and that has lessened the load quite a bit, so there's still a bit of lag every now and then, but it's not as bad as it was for the first few days. I think it's been a bit worrisome with the way they've launched. And again, they seem to have really low expectations for the game, considering they only had 2 servers to start, which is, it's worrying. I will say the CMs and stuff seem to be very engaged with the community, which is a good thing. That's nice to see. But yeah, the server issues have been a big issue, and I think a big turn-off for a lot of people at the moment. I do think once the game is a lot more stable, or the server's a lot more stable, it'll be a lot more fun, and I'll probably enjoy myself a lot more. So you are going to probably see me put out some videos on the dungeons and stuff once the servers are good and I'm able to actually play. Alright, so I think that's about it for my ramble. So to summarize, the staggered launch wasn't great. I don't like the idea of letting people get in early, especially in a open world PvP sort of MMO. It really doesn't click well. And then we've had the staggered launch with the servers as well, where we had one server up on launch, which meant everyone created the character on that server, and then a second came out shortly after, but it should have been there as the game launched. And then after that, we had one extra server go on, but it wasn't showing much confidence that they only put up 2 servers for the launch, especially with them going free to play. It just seemed like a bit of a silly decision. We've had the server lag, the world quests, and the realm v realm getting disabled. I think character creation was also disabled on my server Andromeda. I don't know if it still is, but you know, if you do want to play Elyon and you want to join me, then feel free to join Vulpin on Andromeda. But yeah, we've had the issues there. Again, the world quests and the realm v realm have really good rewards as well, so it sucks that they've been disabled. And the game in general, just, it didn't come out with a lot of fanfare. Yeah, I feel like not a lot of people are talking about it, but what I will say is, I think once it resolves all the issues, you know, we have world quests and everything back in, and the servers are stable, I think there's a fun game there. There is an enjoyable time, and there looks like there's going to be a small community behind it, at least. So I think it'll be enjoyable. How long it'll last, I don't know. Again, it does also have pay-to-win elements in there as well. Where that sits on the pay-to-win scale for you is going to differ. But I think I'm going to take a look at the Ruby store in a different video, because I want to dedicate a whole video to it, you know, because I'm probably going to sift there and go through the whole store, and I want to go through some of the currencies as well to give you guys an idea of what you'd be able to get with some of the stuff off the Ruby store. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all the usual YouTube stuff. Feel free to check me out over on Twitch. I stream on weekends now, and join our Discord as well. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next video.